Hi guys, welcome to the second episode of Mike's Town Square. Um, Today we're diving into something that affects us all, and that is waste management and the agency that manages it. I think our focus will be on Delta State, but honestly, this problem isn't just Delta's. It cuts across the entire nation. Lagos might probably be the worst hit, but let's be real. The whole country stinks. No exception. We all see it ourselves every day. You're driving through your cities, your town, dumps and dumps of refuse in your city, your towns, in junctions, in anyway, you know what I mean. Okay, so let's dive into the facts, the general overview of this problem. So Nigeria generates an estimated 32 million tons of solid waste. So from what I gathered, about 2.5 million tons of that is plastic. But here's the problem. Just about 30% or less of this waste is properly collected and managed. The rest of it end up in strange places like open dump sites, like I was just saying earlier. Not regulated, they will just dump it and sneak off. Some do it in the nights, some in river banks and coastal waters. Some even close to residential areas. You come to some places, maybe an undeveloped area, people just turn the open space to dumping sites. You know, so these are some of the things we see every day. So the problem now is, what is the cause of this problem? No infrastructure, not enough trucks, not no bins. We don't even have recycling centers. Even the government just looks for a large piece of land and people just go and dump refuse there. Eh? With policies, both federal and state, there are no policies that guide the way waste are managed. Another cause of this is no public awareness. People don't even know how to sort waste. In organized settings, you see people sorting plastic, people sort biodegradable, people sort, in different with plastic, biodegradable, chemical, and all that. People don't know that is the way you sort waste. Then you have the problem of corruption. This is another big challenge. Funds that are set aside to manage this waste often get wasted or stolen directly, because that's our norm. That's the norm from our politicians. But there is some that are out of their hands, like it's still in their hands, but we'll give them that rapid urban growth. So the system is growing so fast that even the system they have can't keep up. That is another concern. So this is the cause of the same problem. Then you have this informal way that they manage waste without regulation. Just I have one around my area. You pay them. We used to be 2,000. We paid monthly. They come once in a week, and the rest of the weeks you don't see them, and they say their truck broke down. Just disorganized. So these are issues. So these challenges, these are issues, these are causes. On top of that, there is Like I said, there is the system of poor segregation at the source. You now have no investments in recycling and all that. You don't even have trained personnel. The safety guys, just guys that are trained in waste management. The government role in this, they are all disorganized. They don't know what they are doing. And absolutely no private sector involvement. Now, if you have let's see now, you have a government that works, I think it will look like a government that works that's not grifting. Because all we have are grifters. Use Delta State as a context now. Let's assume, this is me speaking with common sense, no expert, just basic economics concept of how things should go. Let's assume, from the data I've gotten from population of Delta, which is the context where I want to work on this, as of last year, 2024, Delta State had a population of about, I think, roughly 7.8 million. Now, in this number, the labor force estimated to roughly 3.9 million. Right. Okay, so we have that. Now, 60% of that labor force, which if you work it out, it amounts to 2.2 million people. And they all live in urban areas like, say, Asaba, Warri, Saple, Ughelli. I think about 10 I can list off the top of my head. Now, fixing these major cities now will cost money. Let's assume, let's work out 10 cities. Asaba, Warri, Saple, Ughelli, Agbo, Ozoro, Ole, Obiaroko, Bruto, and Kwale. So let's call this 10. Now you now say, you buy 10 garbage compactors. There's a government that works, I'm saying now, or the grifting government. So let's say one compactor should be between 35, let's say 40 million, let's say 40 million per truck. Now you have 10 cities we just listed. You now buy 10 trucks, that's one per urban city, which is 400 million now for 40 million, for instance. You now employ a staff, let's say junior staff, trained and untrained, just junior staff, of 200 now. 200 junior staff, and each gets paid, let's say 100,000 a month, which is good. Then we have an additional 50 staff. In this case, it's senior staff. And let's say their take home as per salary is a 300 per person, which will amount to 15 million. Now, from these figures I've given you, now have 435 million for a month. And this is startup month. Now, if we say just to make it proper and have enough trucks of personnel and everything, you double the trucks. So you now have 20 trucks per major city. Then the amount of money now becomes, if you add 400, so 20 now becomes 800 million. The number of staff is still the same, which is the same 35 million. When you add that to the number, you have 835. That's just to ensure efficient service from them. Now imagine 2 million people, I'm not using 2.2 now, 2.2 now across the state. 2 million people, let's say laws are passed, the states, the legislator helps the government, the ministry now, pass a law and people pay 2,500 a month for waste collection. Let's say it's about 1.6 million households, assuming many are couples, that's roughly 4 billion in generated fund. So even after paying 835 million expenses. The government, if you add it up, the number of people pay 2,500 and you do your subtraction, the government still has close to, if not over 3 billion left for the first month. And you have spent 835 because you're going to make close to 4 billion from this figure. If we say 1.6 million households pay 2,500 across the states, so you still make a profit of 3 billion every month. Note that that is the only month you spend that amount, because let's say the trucks have a lifespan of 3 years. After that month, all you have now is the general expenses of miscellaneous, diesel and all that general maintenance. The next month, you might just spend only 100 million and you still make 4 billion. Now it means you have been able to create a reasonable amount of jobs across the states, right? You have now been able to clean up your cities. 2, in one plan. Then you now generate your IGR. All this is without factoring in the private investors who could boost recycling efforts and generate more IGR from this. So, a government should have a plan, business plan, security plan, because even waste is a form of, it's a concern, health-wise, security-wise, and all that. Because in the state for a while, we saw that people were doing iron bending and they turned to criminals. So you secure the state, security-wise, then you create jobs, then you make the environment healthy. So, is this so hard? And anybody who thinks he has, that's what I'm saying, I can actually break it down properly to the barest minimum of the common sense. So what does it tell you? They are not using their head. They are not thinking. You have the powers of the state that you can use and make your life better. I use waste because that is the least, because it's supposed to be a dirty profession by some people's thoughts, but it's not. Because if you can pay somebody 100,000, it's quite reasonable. You can pay somebody 300,000, you can reduce a lot of people being poor and being off the streets. So why is it that nobody in this government thinking about these things? Only Lagos thinks about it sometimes, but they are reactionary. They only start doing things. I saw them charging people or fining people 250,000 only when people started complaining that it stinks. If you just fly into Nigeria from outside, from the international airport, say Lagos in particular, Abuja, you go a while before you hear dirty smell. Before you pass that Ajao estate area, approaching the Shomolu, it's Shomolu now. The smell that hits you, I've known this smell for years and it hasn't changed. Now somebody says it and somebody's getting angry and saying go back to your state. It's smelling. The same thing with Asaba. If you're coming in from Benin, as soon as you hit up Panam, what's it called? This place they call City Gate. Just before you get the custom people up there, it's a smell that will hit you before the airport. Why? Anyway, final thoughts on this issue. I'm passionate about it, bugs me. Ask yourself, are we being gaslighted? Have we been letting grifters run our affairs for too long? Because obviously there's not a lot of mental work being done, and this has to change. People need to use their mental capacity, their brains. Recently, the Minister of Environment, I think that's the last one the governor did for his budget. He gave them 2.1 billion in budget. Let's watch and see if this commissioner will do what is necessary, and if the governor will trust him enough to say, take this money, let's see what turnover you can make. Because you can turn this into a business plan. You see, you could, and it could be profitable. Clean city, generate jobs, and people and the government still makes money vis-a-vis the IGR. Anyway, my take. We are watching. So should you. This is why I keep saying there needs to be a seismic shift in leadership, whether they want to agree or not. That the revolution is on more young people getting involved in what we're going to do in the future. Definitely the old guard will always be there, but there should be a reasonable number of young people that will be trusted now to change this, who have traveled, who have seen how things function, who are passionate and angry why things are not working. Hence, I gave that battle cry the last episode to the obedient movement, hoping that they can channel their anger and not be keyboard warriors. Like I said, everybody needs to get involved. Everybody needs to get involved. So this is the second episode. We'll keep going. I will leave politics in the next one because I really want to talk about the mental health crisis I talked about. And maybe the fourth episode I'll go back to the electoral bill that they are talking about. So I have seen this. I think I can give it to this government if they can genuinely do it. I hope they can. I'm hopeful. Because nobody must say, nobody your papa gets this country. Nobody, we don't have kings. If you rule small, you come out, make another person run up. No need to be narcissist about it. So anyway, thanks guys. I was nervous in my first episode, but I didn't want to edit too much. I wanted to see my mistakes, keep improving. I know in time I can only get better. So don't judge me. I'll catch you on the next show. Alright? Have a great time. Bye bye.